Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Twist Gaming. We are here live at Origins 2018 from wonderful Columbus, Ohio, and I am here from two gentlemen from Strange Machine Games. I am here with Jeff and Darius, and we are here to talk about Robotech Ace Pilot.
Right.
So, gentlemen, let's start off talking about the background of this game. I have no idea what Robotech is, so fill me in.
Go for it.
Robotech is an anime.
Okay.
It was actually produced in Japan in 1982.
Okay.
And it came to the U.S. market in, I believe, around 1985. And at that time, it was really one of the first adult-esque animes, cartoons, that we as kids could watch. So you're seeing a very gritty anime. For the time, even for a Japanese anime, it was really ahead of its time for 1982.
What made it more adult-esque as compared, like you were saying,
People
gritty?
exploded
Okay.
from being shot.
Main characters died.
Yeah, the main
Okay.
Doesn't happen.
one of the main characters died. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So it's a pretty in-depth storyline for an anime, especially a kid's one where your main characters usually are save the day at the end of the day, all time, live forever.
Yeah,
All right.
And it was episodic
Okay.
versus a typical cartoon of the time. Which were
30 minutes beginning and end.
And-
This continues this whole story.
had mythology too.
Right.
Okay. And so how did we go from Robotech, the television show, to Robotech, the board game?
2 years ago, coming on 2 years ago, Darius and I were coming back from Gen Con, and I had done some small publishing, some RPG, POD kind of stuff. And I said to Darius, we should do a board game. Darius is like, we should do a board game. So we talked for like the next 9 hours on the drive home to Baltimore.
Okay.
We said, what can we do? What can we take? And we agreed right away that we should do something with some gravitas, do something that people knew, that had a following, and not just try to push, Kickstarter stuff. Like, this is my ninja game, or this is my burger making game, right?
Okay.
So we started going through IPs and what's available and what's been done and what did we like and what were things that are important to us. And Robotech was basically number 2 on the list. We hit number 1 and that had been done. So what about Robotech?
So this is something that each of you have both individually enjoyed as a television series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Grandpa's kids, we've known each other since high school, and
Yeah.
I think we even would rewatch it with our friends in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, the show would
Yeah.
come on, we just watch it,
Yep.
and yeah. So I started developing a game, and about 2 weeks after Gen Con, I called up Harmony Gold, the IP holders.
Okay.
Got an operator. Hello, Harmony Gold. Like, hi, can I get somebody in licensing, please? And I get a hold of somebody, and a guy named Ken McKeever, who's their vice president of marketing.
Okay.
And I'm like, hey, we want to do a board game, and he's like, that sounds great. We've been talking about doing that.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was it.
And the rest is history, as they say?
Well, sort of. There was a little bit of there was some stressful points in it because Harmony Gold was partnered with Sony to make a movie. A
Okay.
Robotech live action movie.
Oh, very cool.
And talking a $200 million budget or something for this movie.
Right.
$150 million. So Sony had to approve everything that was being put out.
Right.
So we had to wait through like a 7-month approval process where Harmony Gold met with Sony at I think a toy fair. I think it was New York Toy Fair.
Okay.
They met with Sony and they were like, yeah, Sony greenlighted your project. There's some constraints on it, basically staying with the classic series.
Okay.
Not trying to interpolate anything or trying to do anything for the movie.
Okay.
Live action movie.
Okay.
And then we got the IP pretty quickly after that, and then we were official. But our game had been in process the whole time. We actually started talking about like how are we going to reskin it, and now our main game for the IP is a tower defense co-op strategy game called On Attack on SDF1.
Okay.
We're still producing that. We're hoping to have it for Gen Con.
Okay.
But in the meantime, we're like, let's
Yeah, it's a
expand.
couple months
Yeah.
behind this one. So this one being much
Yeah.
smaller, a lot less pieces,
Yeah.
like maybe a quarter the size, maybe
Right.
even less. It's much quicker to produce, so we got this one out first.
Right.
Okay, so even though this is not your first design for after the IP, this is the
Exactly.
one that's made it to the finish line the
Yeah,
quickest,
exactly.
essentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let me talk to you about that just a little bit. I know with a lot of designers, you have a couple of different ways to approach game design. You're either going to take your theme, you're going to take your emotions,
Right.
or you're going to take your mechanics.
Top
and
down, bottom up design.
exactly. So right now we're starting, the idea was to kind of come get the IP and then move into the game. If I'm getting this correct?
So we started developing the game before we had the IP secured.
Okay.
And then this came up as an idea, as a parallel design path
Okay.
from the first design game, from our larger, more strategic game.
Okay.
And we said,
Okay.
no, hey, let's just do more with it. Let's make another game. And
Make it its own thing.
yeah, and make it simple and inexpensive, so that it's not like we're trying to burden like 2 or 3 huge, $80 games.
Yeah, I mean, we originally were borrowing art from the first game to get this game, and then we're like, well, this is actually a pretty cool game, so we should actually get all its own unique art.
Right.
So
Yeah, we took it to Unpub, we took it around to places, and it was fairly universally liked. We had to tweak it out and finish the design, but it was a game, and people seemed to like it. People were like, I don't know about Robotech, I like this game, I would buy this from you right now.
So even if it's something that you're like me and you have no idea about the series itself, it's going to be a game that you're going to enjoy for
Well,
the game itself.
When we play it, you can decide.
All right, so I know you've been waiting for this moment. Let's go ahead and open the box.
All right.
this thing up.
So what's great about the game is you get a lot with it. It has 100 tokens. They're 1.25 inches, so a little bit bigger than like a standard token. And you have we call it a token tray inside. The tray
Here?
has, I
thought that
said,
was-
where's
I
the
thought it was
knife?
easier to open. Yeah,
I would
really.
just use my teeth.
I thought I would be able to get it with my nails, and I don't think
I-
that. Wait. Never mind. I'm good. I got it.
This is actually this is a copy. It's like a pre-production copy from the manufacturer.
Right.
So this isn't 100% done, but it's like 99% there.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's why it's shrink wrapped and everything. But
There's really one element that's wrong with this, and it's just a
There's
bag.
a couple small things.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
But it's effective.
Well, that's what you get anytime you have your pre-production copy, is that it's
Yes.
mostly complete, but there's always going to be a couple of those last-minute
Exactly.
tweaks that you need to work on.
All right.
So in even though this is a small box, we're going to get a lot inside of this smaller box.
I believe so, and we've seen that to be the case. It's also have little finger cutouts on it. They didn't put it on these boxes, but that's something they'll have to do. So in it is a token tray. You can see it. It has 9 cells, 9
Okay.
little pockets, and it's a vacuum from tray. So right away here you can see the rule book.
Okay.
We didn't try to chintz out. This is a nice solid rule book, put on nice heavy paper, gloss paper, and it's 14 pages. It doesn't need to be this long, but we really wanted to be really careful that everyone could understand. We don't want to be known as the guys that make bad rule books. I mean,
Fair enough.
there are some games that rule books could be better, and we just, didn't want to be known for that.
Put a lot of focus into it.
Yeah, enough focus.
Okay.
So we have a nice rule book here. We have the pack of the smaller upgrade cards, which are a smaller feature of the game, but in there.
So I can bring that.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
beautiful. And we have just standard. Now, we're only going to have 10 of these. For some reason, they put a lot more in. Oh, 10 of those.
All the
fix that.
beads.
Here's the bag. This
Oh, that's
bag
really
should
neat.
be, it has a symbol on it, the Zentradi symbol, and this should be a lot bigger.
Okay.
This should be basically 6x4.
Okay.
It's supposed to hold all the tokens, so
all
you
the
can shuffle
tokens.
it, so it's like a
Yeah.
unique game each time.
And here is.
Yep.
Oh yeah. There's.
That's
the green
that's
screen.
perfect green. I love that green.
That's the
Yeah.
green it's supposed to be.
That's green it's supposed to be. And here are the character cards. Why don't you go ahead and open those and show those.
Okay.
Now, here is the actual cassette. What I call cassette, we call the token tray. And inside of it are stacks of tokens that are individually wrapped. You don't have to punch anything out. It comes like this.
But then what are people going to do for the "what did I just punch" posts?
Well, there are little tiny rubber bands. You can have a.
What did I just unwrap?
Dice.
unwrap?
So tell me about this character here. Did I pick a bat? Here. There we go.
Oh,
There's no dice. How is that possible?
they didn't put the dice in this one. Thank you, China.
It's literally missing the main component of the game.
It's a dice game. We don't have dice.
Are they D6s or are they custom printed
They're
dice?
custom.
They're custom. You want to maybe try to run to get them?
I could go get them.
Go get them from the dealer hall.
Yeah.
The other box had
Can
it.
you
I don't know
stall
what to
for 5
say.
minutes? I could get them these so we could play, or
Yeah, go ahead and grab them real quick.
it's up to these guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, go.
Give
We'll
time.
talk about setup.
Yeah. Sorry. It was shrink wrap.
We opened it on
as
stream.
everyone saw.
We opened it on stream.
But really, it's actually. I mean, we're laughing about it, and it's awful.
But this is pre-production, so you're going to have a lot of kinks to work out between now and,
Yeah.
and when are you planning on releasing this game?
Well, we're really hoping to have it here for this convention. And
Okay.
unfortunately, we end up with 3 boxes that don't have dice, then 100 or 200 boxes that we wanted to air freight in.
Okay. Ooh.
We should have this for Gen Con.
Gen Con?
We're guaranteed to have this for Gen Con.
Okay.
Now, our bigger game, Attack on TF1, there's nothing really fancy with it. There's no dies or molds. It's just all tokens and boards. There is a beautiful full SDF1 robot, stands about 10 inches tall, cut
Okay.
out that comes
Oh,
with
wow.
it. But that's the most fancy thing in it. We're hoping to have that for Gen Con as well. But if not, we'll definitely have it for PAX Unplugged. It'll probably release maybe a week or two after if we miss the date. We're just skimming timelines right now.
Okay, so either Gen Con or PAX Unplugged release date.
Yes.
And I know you were talking about you didn't really want to go the Kickstarter route before.
Yes.
How are you releasing this game?
So honestly, our license precludes us from doing a Kickstarter.
Okay.
So Army Gold said no Kickstarter for Robotech stuff.
Okay.
We're like, all right, sure, fine. So this is being distributed. We're co-publishing this with Japan Games.
Okay.
And Japan Games will be, taking orders from distributors. So all
Okay.
the local game stores should have it in however long it takes. So we are, the shipment from China will take, 6-7 weeks to get into the States, get distributors' hands, get out to the stores.
Right, right.
So if you buy online, you get it in a few weeks. Once it comes out, there's a pre-order on Japanime's website right now for both
Excellent.
games. So if you want to secure your copy, and game stores, I'm guessing some months, maybe 3
Weeks after that.
Yeah, it's just the time it takes to ship things in and get distributed, and
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. What's
Yeah.
the price point for this game?
This game is $25.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, because I know that you were mentioning about the size of the box and ensuring that you get a lot. I mean, that's a great price point for just the box that size.
Well, right, yeah.
And you're getting even more than what you would expect.
Yeah, show some of these cards. They're
Okay.
beautiful art for these.
So who was the is this original art?
This is original art.
Who
yeah.
was the artist for, and it was very important, especially with the Sony licensing, that this stayed to the original series.
Yeah.
So who did you have to do the art for the game?
So we found basically a fanatical fan down in Argentina
Okay.
named Francisco Echart. And he is a fabulous artist. He does amazing anime types, anime-esque style artwork. Although some would say this is really anime. I mean, I consider it more anime than not.
Okay.
And yeah, he basically did all the art. I gave him the art direction, and he, I give my artists a lot of free reign usually. I say, because I don't constrain them too much. I say, hey, come up with something cool. This is kind of where it needs to be.
And you already knew that this
Yeah.
artist was a fan of the series.
Yeah.
So it was somebody who was very familiar with what this
Yeah.
art style should look like.
Yes. That's very helpful. So he didn't have to. He could find his own references to some degree. Occasionally he would have a stumble, and we would sort of work through it with him. But basically, actually, let me open this. But basically, yeah, he knew the series very well. And apparently, Robotech is, and we didn't know this, but it's very popular in South America.
Okay.
So.
So it's not very surprising that somebody from Argentina is
Right.
already a big fan of this game.
Yeah, and because he's a fan, we think he puts a little extra effort into it. getting.
You
the
want
armies
something to be. You want
Yeah.
something to be right if you really enjoy it.
Yes.
Okay, so we have all of these. I know we're waiting on the dice.
Yes, but we're going to set up the token tray, and first player token, so we're going to keep that out.
Okay.
Here, there's Chiron. Go ahead and throw him under there, too. All right.
And then, so our board cam is about here.
Yep.
And I'm going to flip that over to you real quick just so that you can see where our framing is going to be.
Okay.
And I'll come back to me.
Just hold my mic there.
So now we have dice.
Yay!
Yay! Look at
There
that.
we go. I'm gonna show some of this
Absolutely.
stuff in there. Nope. I love the green screen. It's like, so normally you would do this in a bag, but because our bag is itty bitty little bag,
Okay.
we're gonna do this in the box top. And so you actually load these cells with a number of tokens based on the number of players you have. And
Okay, so this is not just storage. This is a component for the game.
Actual play
this is the
area.
board.
Awesome.
This is the
Okay.
board, yeah. And yeah, so it's you have vacuum formed, black styrene. It fits perfectly in the box, and basically we
3 it said.
3 is 8.
8.
So go ahead and you can help 2.
Okay. What am I?
So
You're going to
basically,
make a stack of
put
upside
it
down
face down,
7,
and this
the
being the
last
face.
one's 8.
This being the face. So
Okay.
face down, and just put stacks of 8. So
So 7
2,
down,
3.
1 up.
7 down, any one up or the top one
one
specifically?
up, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Because you'll
1, 2,
turn
3,
them over
4,
as you roll.
5, 6.
and normally like I said, we mix these up in the bag.
One, two.
So the number that you put in depends on the number of players,
Okay.
and also how many cells are empty. you can also do like varying game lengths because in this 3-player game we'll probably play till the first cell's empty, right?
Yeah,
If
first cell's
if you're
empty.
digitally going through a game, yeah.
Yeah. Nope, you just
Yep.
wanna-
Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's crazy.
6. I need one more, please. Thank you, sir.
Yep, and if you want to play a longer game, you can just stack them higher. 'Cause
Okay.
We do have 100 tokens, so that means it's 100 including. Oh, we have Chiron in there to mix them in. We have it's 99 tokens, and the first player token makes 100. That means
Okay.
you can put a maximum of 11
In each of the different
in
cells.
each of the different cells.
Okay, so this is just with 8.
Mhm.
And let's actually, we'll move this up. I'm going to switch over to the board cam. That way we can
perfect.
see.
Yep.
So you're going to need to
yeah.
have some long arms. And what I'm going to do, because, you know, this kind of,
It's a pretty small format, so you can kind of keep it.
yeah.
Now the game's only got 10 of these, so I'll just bring 10 out.
Yeah.
There you go, right here.
Okay.
And these are the heroes, so they go out here.
Okay.
Okay. And what's going to happen is we're going to take turns rolling. Darius is going to start here. He's got the first player token.
Okay.
Let's just move this guy in a little bit.
Yep.
And he's going to do a Yahtzee-style roll.
Okay.
Choose what he wants to keep. Can roll up to 2 more times.
Okay.
And then at the end of his rolling, we'll purchase the heroes based on the symbols.
Okay, so the heroes they're not assigned off the bat.
They're
This is part of a store. Okay. And what are we doing? I noticed you had upgrades over in the corner here.
Shuffle those. And we'll take this.
So upgrades occur when you basically destroy or capture a special token.
Okay.
So the purpose of the game
Man,
is
that's too generous.
we're trying to achieve the most victory points. And the victory points, if you want to put this under the thing.
Absolutely.
So there we go. So the little explodey symbol,
Right here.
that's how many hit points it has.
Okay.
Right? That's its damage capacity. And 2, that's its victory points.
Okay.
So the bigger ships take more damage, they have more victory points.
You can see on the board now we have some 5 victory points, some 2s, and some 1s.
Yep.
There are some 7s in there as well, but there's not as frequent.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're going to do your Yahtzee style roll?
But it's good to explain if you're going to be playing as well.
Yeah.
Basically, each of these have a special pattern or ability of how you knock these out. So the strategy around the dice is just how to figure out which of these players you want to draft or basically recruit.
So we have Roy here. Take me
Yep.
through what I'm looking at on the
All right.
card.
So right here, see the symbols?
Yes.
That's the purchase price.
That
Okay.
you get with the dice matching.
Match on dice.
Are the dice weighted to any particular
Yep.
symbol?
They
yeah,
are.
well,
So
yes.
there's 2 arrows.
Okay.
Let's bring it over here.
Yeah, good point. There's 2 arrows,
So that's a
2
common.
targets,
That's common.
Okay.
and there's only 1 and 6 of the other
That's
2.
rare. And
Okay.
that's rare. So we know a lot of games they do 1, 2, 3. We do 2, 2, 1, 1.
Okay.
So it helps you, like, when you're trying to figure out, do I have a chance of getting this die on my last roll, you can sort of hedge your bet, and you can say, well, I'm going to wait, or you can go for it and actually try and roll.
So a character like Roy is going to be easier to get than we're talking like a character like
Exactly,
Henry.
Exactly, correct.
Yep. Because those are more rare. Now here you see the pattern that matches
Ah, the cell board.
matches the cell board, which may be a little hard to see there. So there you go.
Okay.
So this means the red means that's fixed. He always has to attack the center target.
Okay.
The yellow means he can move the pattern to any corner.
So that doesn't necessarily have to be these 3 in our direction, or if we were playing as here, it doesn't necessarily have to be
It's
that
any
the corner that's
3, any
fixed.
corner
It's
3.
Okay.
it's basically any quad.
So
Yeah,
this
that's
can
any quad.
rotate essentially.
Exactly.
Yep. So it doesn't matter which way he's facing. It doesn't matter which ways tokens are facing. We've made it so that there's no
No up and
yeah.
down.
Now,
Okay.
technically, we did put arrows on there. So if in the future there'd be some reason to do that, then you could align your cassette. But
Okay.
in this case, there's no reason. So let's put Roy back. All right. So Darius is now going to start playing the
Do you want to
game.
explain the rest of them, or do you want to just go through?
Let's
Okay.
go through. I think that honestly, unless there's somebody that has a particularly specific special ability.
There are...
Yeah, they're a little different. So
Yeah.
Ben is a wingman, or he wasn't especially a major character. He's more of a minor character.
Okay.
But he just blows up little dudes. So he blows up like little fighter pods and
one
battle
hit ship.
pods.
Okay.
And he can't attack the center because the center's blacked out.
Okay.
And probably Lisa is the next special one. And we can sort of explain that ones on the fly.
Sure.
She doesn't destroy anything. She blows up already damaged vehicles. So if a vehicle's already has some damage on it, and you get her, she'll just finish it off no matter how many points it has.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll get started.
Yep.
So I have first player token, so I'm going to roll my first dice. I'll do it right over here so that people can see.
Yeah, that's great.
think we can see. Oh, I'm gonna go this way. So my first roll is okay. So what I'm really gonna do is I'm trying to evaluate the maximum sort of points on the board.
Okay.
So if I look at the board, I see that there's 2 5 victory tokens at the top. So I know they each need 3 hits.
And the perfect hero to kill that is Miria, because she will do 3 damage anywhere on the board to any 2 targets.
Okay.
But my roll so far is actually pretty far from that. Oops, it was like this, right? So I've only matched one of those. So I could say I'm going to hold this and re-roll the 4 if I really want to try and get Miria, or I could do different strategies of combining, because you'll notice some of these cost 3,
Yeah.
some of these cost 2.
Okay.
So I have 5 dice, so a lot of times you can get a 3 and a 2.
If you're really lucky, you can pick up both people.
Sometimes you just get 2s and 2s. Sometimes you don't roll so well, you just get a 3 or a 2.
When you purchase one of these characters, is that yours for the rest of the
It's
game?
included for that round.
The round.
Oh,
Yeah,
just the round.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, so what I'll do is, knowing that this is a pretty rare dice to get, I'll just do something like
You'll keep it, right?
yeah. What I'll do is I'll keep it or lock it, hoping I get this, and then a good combination for something like this and this is a good combination, because I could do a line here, 1 damage, then she could finish off the already damaged ships.
Now, just to clarify a quick point, I know that there's some games, even the Yahtzee-style games, where if you accept a die and that roll and you assign it to the card, then you're not going to be able to reassign it. So are you,
They're not
that's not
assigned.
this rule? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just holding them so I can kind of
But
figure out
mentally-
my strategy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
But-
basically you purchase at the end.
Okay.
So
Right.
after you've made your 3 rolls, or before, but when you decide to purchase,
You're
that's
ready.
when you're, yeah,
So I'm going to
Okay.
roll again, trying to get some targets and a UN spacey.
the Robotech symbol.
So that was really bad.
Good job. But you can get Ben.
I could get Ben,
Get
but
Ben.
I'm going to try one more roll.
Ben's his favorite character.
Love Ben.
He's seriously, he really is.
Okay, so
That worked out
at
well.
least got this, but I'm missing what I needed with the target for this one. So I have
Right.
to kind of change my strategy, hence why they're not locked
You
in.
can still get Ben.
Oh, you can't get
I could still do Ben. Let's see here. It's actually pretty bad.
It's a terrible roll.
It really is a
You're
bad
awful.
roll.
Should just quit now.
Yeah, I'm actually have to do Ben. This is actually a really bad turn. But
Yeah.
this is sort of the thing. So really, I'm pushing my luck. I'm trying to roll dice to get the cards I need. But if you strike
Give
out
me
like
these
I
dice.
did, so what I'll do is I'll take Ben. Ben destroys any 3 ships that have 1 hit. So I'll at least look for the maximum value. So there's 3 ships that have 1 hit but 2 victory points.
Okay.
So I'll take those. And right now I have 6 victory points.
And
Then on
these-
Jeff's turn,
these
we're going to flip over the next ones because we don't drill in. It's sort of a fresh wave of these Entrades attacking him.
Okay.
And
Were
now
you
he's
also
got-
getting Lisa, right?
No, I actually did not end up getting Lisa because there's really no point
Okay.
because there was no value. Now, Jeff has these players to recruit from, and I'm keep Ben, so he's got this field, and then you will have the next whatever's left over from
So
that group.
I'm going to take Roy.
Okay.
He does 2 damage to a quad. And I'm going to take Rick. Or did I screw up there?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, then I'll take Claudia. So I already know what I'm doing.
Okay.
I've made my decision.
Okay.
So Roy's going to do 2 damage here, 2 damage here, 2 damage here, 2 damage here. And then Claudia's going to do 1, 1, and 1 more over here.
And
So,
really, you don't need to use the.
yeah, I just was
for-
doing that for
Well,
demonstrative purposes.
So that helped me. So help me again. I'm going to know that this card here is worth 1 victory point,
it takes
and I
1
only take
damage.
1 damage to attack it. So everything... Wait till...
Let's see what you got left. Yeah, they're all.
Oh, wow.
So
Everything is only 1 damage.
Yep.
Okay.
And only 1 point.
And only 1 point.
So what you want to do is maybe look for Max and Rick because they'll spam the board.
Okay, so then I could take Rick. So +1 is going to be 1 damage. I could easily finish
spread
off
across all
3
Yep.
right across. And
And
then,
halfway. You're more than
You're-
halfway to
you're
that one.
almost-
so if I can roll the crosshairs.
Yep.
Yep.
Hey! All right, so
I love it.
take the one you don't want. What's the one you don't want?
I mean, they're all the same.
Okay,
So,
so here, we'll just do this.
okay.
1, 2. We have to take the corners because that one Max hits. And we have to
Right.
And
take
he
the
hits the
middle.
And the
center
center. Yep.
for
And
2,
the
which is
center.
overkill because it only needed
Yeah.
1.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. That was hilarious. New game out of the box.
There you go.
We promised we shuffled. Wow.
In the box. It was good.
Max.
Well, that's the thing about this game is that because it's random,
You have
every game's gonna-
replayability.
Every game's going
Yep.
to be different. The stacks are always
Okay.
going to be different.
So now the cards go back to the middle.
Yep.
Boop, boop.
Yeah, I'll go back.
And now I get the first player token.
So it rotates.
I
Now,
just want
Okay.
to remind everyone that I have 14 victory points.
and also something to note is that global here, I don't think we mentioned, is not only does he do 4 damage to anywhere but the corners, but he can take first player token.
Oh, okay.
So,
So,
that might be
Yeah.
useful for
Right.
someone that wants to try and shortcut the line.
All right. So I kind of want Roy for this one. So let's see if I can get Roy.
Roy's going to take 2 of the arrows and a crosshair.
Yeah.
Is there special names for the faces? Or my arrows and crosshairs?
So arrows, targets, we call them arrows, targets. We call this one, we call it instinct. And then
Okay.
we call these the
Right.
UN species.
And once again,
Okay.
I'm taking the exact same 2 characters I took last time.
So Roy and Claudia.
So Roy's going to blow this guy up, blow this guy up, blow this guy up, blow this guy up, and then Claudia's going to give me this line here. And that was my turn.
Fair enough. Okay. So now those 2 characters are not available for me
Yes.
for
Now
this
here,
roll.
Something
do-
special actually happens here. I get an upgrade token
Because that one has,
because I blew him up.
right?
2 damage, but there's no victory
So-
points. It's not worth any victory
Yeah.
points.
So that's what the U is instead of
Exactly.
having victory
So I
points
get one of
there.
these cards. I don't know what one I'm going to take, so I'll grab this one.
Okay, so it's not from the top, it's at random.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know,
It's supposed to be from the top.
yeah. Random's random.
If it wasn't shuffled.
So this one I got backup. It's a destroyed iconic vehicle in the series, and re-roll 1 die at any time.
Okay.
So I can use this once per turn.
Oh, once per turn. Okay, so it's
Yep.
not a use and discard.
Right.
Right.
Not
Okay.
using this card. Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I have all the crosshairs.
So if you notice, there's a ship
Oh,
that
wow,
came
yeah.
up. So there's 2 things to note. There's a 7-point ship here that takes 4 damage, and you have an option to get an upgrade.
Okay. All right, you design a game, so then that means you get to help me figure out how to win and
so
beat you.
to blow him up really easily, you could either do it with
These 2 and
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. How would I do? Oh, so Lisa's only a
she. Yeah.
Only
so
was been
already
damaged.
somebody
ships.
needs to
Right.
ping. Somebody needs to ping him. And
So for instance, if you took these 2 and you would ping him, either doing 3 or 1 damage.
She
you
would
could-
finish off the
exactly,
rest of the
but you need to
damage.
you want to
Yeah.
try and roll to
but
get
you also
that.
have some other good people that she could finish off as well.
Right.
These things there.
And of course, those are the 2
Rarest.
ones.
But there are only 2.
No.
So now you have 1 roll. So this is where you want to decide, do you want to try and do something like get Ben and Rick because it's a sure thing, or do you want to try and go for that roll to get the big points?
Do it. Don't be a punk. Oh wait. That's on the internet forever.
Forever.
Oh, oops.
Forever.
Halfway there.
But I can still get
You still
Ben.
can
So
yep,
get Ben.
That's a good point.
So you
Fair
don't
enough.
lose that on Ben. So
All
here,
right.
Go ahead and give you these guys so Darius remembers he can't take them.
Okay, so because I have the brash pilot, I can do 1 damage to any 3 on the board.
Yep.
I could take out 1, 2, and I guess it doesn't really
You could
matter.
also
where.
get 2 and take this one.
Yeah. Well, 2 plus 1 here.
Can I? So this isn't one. I can combine
Yep.
these.
Yep.
Yep. you can-
Okay,
yep,
that's
why
where-
plus is there, so you can stack.
Plus, plus, and plus.
Plus, plus, plus.
Okay, so which one am I-
Well, do Ben first, because he
Okay.
can only kill the little dudes.
So these are the best
Yeah.
points for him.
So Ben will grab these guys here, because they're the biggest value.
Can he not do the one in the center though?
Oh, you're right. He can't do the one in the center. I almost cheated on your behalf.
I should have just let you go with that.
And then
So
you can
really
grab
it's just-
whatever too.
But that's
Yeah,
all you can
it's
really
just this
do.
one and this one then.
Well, no, he can still kill 2 more. He can still these fighter pods.
So are these? Oh, because that's the
So,
walking one and the
yeah.
other one.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all
go
right.
jet. So now you can do your 3 with Rick.
Maybe
So-
like that and that.
Yeah.
That'd give you
And that would
5.
give me my center. Okay.
Yep.
Guys, you think I know what I'm doing? All right. And I'm going to keep those because Darius doesn't get to get them.
So now I pick from what's left.
Okay.
Now, if he wants to jump the line and screw you, he'll get global, and then he gets the first player token.
He is, but I see how many points you have and how many points he has, and I think that he would prefer to catch up.
Right.
I'm feeling pretty confident. Like I'm probably sort of obnoxiously confident at this point.
Really?
Yeah,
You know what happens at that point.
that's okay. I'd rather be obnoxiously confident and fall from grace than never having be able to be obnoxiously
As
confident.
long as you know where your priorities are.
Okay, so I am going to take global. Because the 4 damage will also take out that.
blow that
You
guy.
know.
Now, and I'm also going to use Max Sterling.
Okay.
This is a good result for him.
So we'll do this.
First,
We'll take the 4. That's his thing. I got first player token.
we're gonna have
And now
some.
Max is going to do 1 damage. Right, so this is where these tokens will stay for actually the next person. So 2 damage is enough to here, and 1 in the corner is enough here. But these damage tokens will now go to the next player because it's damage left over that I could
Good,
take.
good thing you're the next first player.
Right.
So all of our character cards go back?
Yep.
Right.
Now we're back.
So then we'll start again. And now probably want to do something like,
You can probably take Max again.
yeah, Max or Lisa.
Well, Max will just annihilate everything because they already take damage.
Right.
Oh, hold on, we gotta flip these.
Oh yeah, good point.
Cheating. There you go.
So there's also some strategies around trying not to leave damage, because then this happened to work out that I was the next player, so I basically
Happened to work out?
I'm
Wait a second. Stealing first player from me has not happened to work out.
Okay. The other thing is, because these upgrades aren't worth points, they do help you. He could just leave those there and make us grab them while he's getting points.
Mm.
So there's some strategy. It's subtle. But
Yeah.
there are a lot of points in which you can apply that strategy.
And also, there's no point for me to take global again because you can't keep first player token. So you definitely
Well, unless you
can't
want
do
to
that.
blow something up.
Well, I can
Okay.
take it, but I just wouldn't.
But you
keep
would
first
still
player.
have to pass
Yes.
first player
Exactly.
token.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
So I'll take Rick, and I'll take Lisa.
The
which
best
is
combo in the game.
A little redundant, but what
usually
I'll
those
do is I'll use Rick to actually damage this 5-point chip.
And then
So
Lisa
one
will
of the-
finish
Lisa will
off.
finish, exactly. I'll take one upgrade
No.
with Lisa.
Up there. Over here.
There's two.
Oh, wait. Oh, that was destroyed. I apologize. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry.
So I'll
Because
use
that's
Lisa,
already damaged, so
right,
that's
I'll
the
use
other
Lisa
one.
to finish this one off. I'll use Lisa to finish the other upgrade card, and then Rick has 2 more hits, so I'll just take this one.
Yep. And that's why I keep them face down, because then
You know.
to flip them up.
Okay. And then you get the upgrade card.
I'll take 2 of those. I'll just take them off the top.
Oh, will you? That's very nice of you.
I don't know. Random. All right, give me this nice.
Here, if you want to show what this one.
Sure.
does.
Okay, so talk to me about these upgrade cards. This is the Bridge Crew?
So they're known as the Bridge Bunnies, but to be to sort of update historically Bridge Bunnies, but now we call them the Terrible Trio.
Okay.
To not marginalize their status as being females.
Appreciate that.
Yes. But this lets you change one rare to the other rare. So if you have trouble with getting a rare,
Like on your last roll, instead of doing that, you can just go ahead and change it.
yeah,
Okay.
you can change it right.
And that's once per...
Once per turn.
Okay.
And you just after you flip the card over, or spin it upside down, clock it, or something like that.
Just some way to indicate.
Yeah.
And then what is the other upgrade that you got?
Who'd you take? Darius took.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
These
these two.
So this is the defactor. Swap positions of a face-down token with a face-up. So what is that? Because all the tokens are face-up right now.
Well, not if you blow one up.
Right, so like on my turn,
Between
if I-
heroes.
Right, exactly. I can swap them.
Okay.
So if one hero blows some stuff up, and you can flip one.
Ah,
you can-
okay.
you can
All
hit
right, all
across.
right.
Yeah. Alrighty. What I got here? Alright, I'm feeling a Myria. Myria is like my favorite character because she is half alien and, super sexy. And
Half human.
who doesn't like super sexy, half alien, half humans?
Obviously.
No, I mean we can deny it, right? We can deny it, but then we'd be wrong. So I'm just going full bore on this alien hunt here, and here is Lisa. So I'm getting a little, but it's okay. I got my Myria, so I'm feeling pretty happy here. All right, so that's all. I'm just getting Myria, which
Okay.
leaves more open for you.
That works for me.
But yeah, I'll take this guy, and it's still not a ton of.
So
points,
Myria
but-
does plus 3 damage to 2 vehicles or 6 damage to 1 vehicle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, which will completely annihilate anything. Okay, now, when this token leaves and the cell becomes empty, if this
Yes.
is the next one to go, we finish out the turn and the game's over.
Okay, so you just have to clear out one cell. You don't have to clear out the whole board.
Exactly.
Right. Well, you could.
You
It's all
could,
about- it's all about playing time.
Yeah,
what
it's
you
all
want to
playing
do.
but if you're winning and you want the game to end quickly,
Yes.
You may want to try and drill that one down, exactly.
gotcha. Okay, so what am I going to do?
If I didn't use my ability, I could have rerolled that one and had a chance. Oh,
Too late.
too late.
Too late.
Too late.
Okay, so
Too bad, so sad.
which one here has, so this is 7 point, and
Yeah,
that's
so
going to
that
take
would
4
be-
damage.
Right, so that's good here.
So is it good for Henry because he's got 4 for the center? So what do the white blocks mean?
Okay, so
Oh, where else you can go?
right, so
Anywhere but corners.
yeah, he can't. So if you want to show this here,
Sure.
he can't attack the corners because they're blacked out.
Okay, but that 4, so I had read that initially the 4 could only be to the center
Oh.
square. So this is 4 to any of
Any
these
of those
available
ones, yeah.
squares.
Yep.
Okay, so that he would be a really good option for that, but those are also 2 of the rare facing cards,
Yeah,
or
for sure.
faces for the dice.
For sure.
Oh man, okay, we're rerolling the whole thing.
But you get 2 rerolls.
Man.
Well, but
Okay.
you still get some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Roy's always a good guy to take because he'll slam some stuff down for you.
So that would be those. Let's see if I don't blow my whole roll.
Yeah,
Eh.
you got him. You got Roy. You got Roy and Claudia.
Okay.
It looks like
Yep.
Yep.
So Claudia is going to give me 1 damage to. Now is this any 3 vehicles?
It's any
One damage
column or
in-
row.
Right.
Any
So
column or row.
horizontal.
It's what we
vertical,
call a
right.
floating pattern. So
Okay.
the pattern, you have to keep the pattern congruent, but it can go
Anywhere.
anywhere. Yeah.
Okay, and then Roy is going to give me 2 in corners
Yep.
and 2 in the center.
Yep.
Which is not quite enough to do that 7. Now this one only has 1 damage in the corner.
Right. So you could drag Claudia this way if you want, and then have Roy blow this out, and he'll get all those.
1, 2, 3, and then you're thinking this
I
corner,
think so. Yeah.
2, 2, and 2.
Great point.
Hey, don't look at my. Stop
That's why
looking.
I
It's
mean,
like-
that's the whole reason that there's
Usually why I tell
stacked
people to put 'em- I usually
tokens.
tell people to put them face down, so it's not obvious who's.
I
the leader.
mean,
But that could be all just like crap. That's
would
all
not-
upgrade
you don't know.
tokens, right?
I do because I was watching the
Stop-
game, so I
stop
know there's only
looking.
2.
Cheaters.
I don't. You're usually right when it comes to those things because you're kind of the jerk that does those things. Maybe I should end it. You think I should?
You're just
Man,
really competitive.
man.
It's not a bad strategy because this is the end of this round.
Okay, all right, I'll do it.
Okay, hold on. Let me tell you about one thing. There is one upgrade
Ooh.
in here. There is one upgrade in here that gives you 5 victory points.
Don't do it. He's just baiting you.
I'm saying
Don't
it's
do
in
it.
there. There's an
That
upgrade.
is, I've got a 20% chance that maybe
I'm
Don't do it.
saying.
He's
I'll
baiting-
at
He's
random.
baiting you. Don't
I
do it.
can't. I'm just providing you with information. You have the agency to decide
You're-
how to
you're
act upon said
At a very
information.
convenient time.
Right.
That's good. All right, yeah, we'll end it. Okay, so I'm going to use Claudia. It's going to be 1. 1's not going to do anything here, so that'll be, I
Right,
could just
right.
move that here.
Yep.
So I'm going to take these 2. It's going to end the game, and then I'm going to use Roy still, and I can take 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, this is 3 points, so this is 1, 2,
It's probably the same.
1, 2, 3,
One.
4, 5, 6. He does
1,
2.
2, 3,
4, 5,
4.
6 versus 1, 2, 3, 4 over 6. But,
It's the
but you
same.
get the chance for the upgrade if you go this way.
That's true.
All right, I'll take the upgrade though. That's
Yeah.
Right.
So, and I'm also going to be nice, and you can grab from any of those. You don't have to grab the top one. So you can choose your destiny to see if you get the
That's so-
5-point upgrade.
all right. I'm going to take
Let's
this
see,
one.
Let's see, who is it?
Remove any 2 face-up tokens from play.
That's, you got that around too late.
Not.
Yeah.
Not
So,
the
but
5.
this would mean that you could, if you're still going, I mean, you could, if you didn't take this out, you could remove this from play. And that means
You deny it from
You
somebody
wouldn't have
else.
been able to get the 7-point
Yep,
ship.
you deny it from
Yep.
somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, cell's empty.
Yep.
Cell's empty. You were the last player,
Yes.
so the game's over.
Yeah.
And we count up our spoils.
Okay.
I definitely won.
You probably won.
No, I did not win at all.
No.
I was just joking. I got really no points.
But he was going
Oh,
for
you
all
had
the big
you
point
had
ones.
the terrible first turn.
14, 19. Oh, I actually had 24, surprisingly.
So, what is considered a good score in this game?
I have 32, and I think somewhere in that range between like 30 and 40 is
Yeah,
probably.
that's where it really goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it depends
Like,
on
I
how
had
many players you play
24,
with
which is
and
pretty
stuff,
low.
Because
Okay.
it's honestly completely balanced. Because if you play with 4 players, you have to drill down a whole
Two-
nother
two
another
holes,
cell.
yeah.
Say that again?
For 4 players, to make the game not too short, you have to actually get 2 of these
Yeah.
empty.
Okay. So,
So-
because we're playing with just the 3 players.
Exactly.
Yep.
You'll forgive me. I have a little bit of ADD.
That's all right.
And by a little bit, I mean a whole lot. 2, 4, 5, 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15 is not more than you.
27. Well, pretty close though.
Yeah,
I mean, let's see,
24,
right.
27, would you have?
31.
So I
32,
wasn't
32.
last.
It's actually pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were not last.
Okay. I
There's
mean,
there's a award for that.
Yeah, it was basically right.
second place is still first loser, but that's fine.
So I mean, that's the game. I mean, it's cute. It's good.
It's really easy to pick up. I know we were talking a little bit about the age range for the game
Yep.
being at a starting point of 8, but I have two kids who are 15 and 9, and I can definitely see this being a game that they could easily play.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a couple of points where obviously we were playing this live on stream, just opened the box
Right.
with no dice,
Right.
and I haven't had
Living in community.
I haven't had a chance to look at the iconography or anything. But even with that, and with you guys just explaining a couple of points that I'm
Yeah.
sure are already in
Second
the
round,
rule
you got
book,
it, right.
then it's very easy. And you're absolutely correct. I think that being able to use your cell as also kind of like storage within the box really allows you to be very efficient with the components that you have in the box.
Exactly. I mean, somebody could actually play it like at a park, put this, keep it in the box, have the cards in the lid, and roll in the lid, and you're playing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
really simple.
perfect.
And it's even great for younger kids. I mean, my son, I was playing this with him at 7. I've taken it to like unpub games where I've had kids younger play, and basically they just pattern match. They roll the dice and they say, hey, I can get this person, and they're not always trying to like get the most optimal score,
Right,
but they can still get value out of.
playing the game.
You know, so we see a lot of families come up to our booths. I get the kids to play, the parents see it, and it's a really, I think, a really good kind of mathematical. Well, that's not really adding, but it's sort of like that
Pattern matching kind of logic,
Logic,
puzzle.
Yeah.
No, it's really cool. Guys, thank you so much for coming on and showing us the
Thank
game.
you. Well, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Are there any points that you want to make sure you bring up? I know with this game we're talking about maybe between Gen Con and PAX Unplugged release date.
Yep.
What about the other design?
So the bigger strategy game, the tower defense game with a price point of $80, that's one we're hoping to have for Gen Con. May not happen. It's maybe like a 60-40. We're not, just
Okay.
if the factory jumps on it tomorrow,
Right.
maybe it happens.
So that one's on Attack on the SDF one.
Okay.
That has, like you said, 50-50 chance. Most likely PAX Unplugged
Okay.
is where
Yeah.
it's going to have a better chance.
Okay.
And then we're also co-publishing a third Robotech game with Escape Velocity Games, also out of Baltimore, Maryland. And that one is called Brace for Impact.
Yeah, Robotech Bracer.
And it's like a party game, like 4 to 14 players.
Oh, wow.
And it's
Yeah.
actually really fun. So
It's
when
it's
that
crazy.
gets closer to production, we'll show you guys that too.
Sounds good to me. If I'm interested to learn more about this game as you guys go through the production schedule, where can I find you guys online?
So we're at strangemachinegames.com.
Okay.
And there's a pre-order for the game at japanime.com. So if you follow us on Facebook or Twitter, we will update the status of the games. We've been trying to tweet everything, throughout this
Process?
this convention. And we're pretty easy to get a hold of. I mean, so, we respond to things and,
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. It's very important for social media.
Yeah.
It is.
So,
Awesome.
are these all tickets?
Yeah, they're more.
Oh, okay, it's more in the box, okay. But yeah, so when you put it back in, you're just ready to play.
Play it again.
Play again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Thank you guys very much for coming
Thank
on
you
the
so
show.
much. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
a lot.
Thank you.
Great to meet you.
Thank you, you too.
Thanks for watching.